Hi, I'm JB Bryan, the President and Chief Investment Officer at JB Bryan Financial Group, the home of AfroEconomics. AfroEconomics is a strategic financial management program designed for the advancement of Black wealth in America and abroad. Today, let's talk about raising the bar, turning it down for what? I love that. I love it. Don't turn it down. Even though it is the end of the year almost, we still have time left because, hey, it's just a calendar, but life goes on and we all have financial goals that we've set up for ourselves and our family. And that is my task. That is my purpose to help you achieve them. Today, I want to just briefly encourage you to check out the book, AfroEconomics, Our Black Wealth Matters. And I also have a workbook and the kids book. Kids book, all of the books really are great gift ideas for the holidays. And it would be great if I had them like the right way. This is the workbook. And behind me, I have the website up, AfroEconomics.com. And this is the flyer for Saturday, December 3rd in the Virginia office. We're going to have the workshop refusetobebroke.com, and wow, I'm just really excited because sometimes my staff is hesitant to encourage me to have things at this time of the year, but I said turn it down for what? No way. We got to keep it going because this is an important time of year to make sure you stay the course with your financial goals, because often families lose track, get off track, just accumulate debts that they end up spending the entire rest of the year paying off. So you're on the right track by just watching this, and I appreciate y'all out there watching. I love that YouTube shows me that I have viewers out there watching this live, and I like to do it live because I want it to be sincerely, and I'm speaking directly from what I feel that I would want to hear from a financial professional, that the encouragement that I need, that's what I give to you and I share with you. I wrote down in my notes that I want to remind you that there is a price to be paid for success. So we have to daily make payments on that price that we want in order to be financially successful. And the 10 principles of Afroeconomics are what we need to be focusing on daily and throughout our days and years. And the 10 principles are in the book, and I'll put here for you so that you can just pause and kind of look at them. And this is the legacy edition that has the Adinkra symbols in there. And it starts with the Sankofa symbol because the first principle of Afroeconomics is legacy. And the symbol of Afroeconomics is an Adinkra symbol as well. And the morning star with the wheel. And I like that because Afroeconomics is about every day is a new beginning. Every day we have to feel our daily habits create where we are, and that we are constantly transforming and moving ourselves forward, and we can do that. So some tips about just raising the bar, and I'm gonna stay with me the whole time, so you won't have to come back and see this because I only have 5 tips today because I want you to stay motivated. This is a motivational, financially motivating discussion I want to have today. So the first tip for raising the bar: don't turn it down. Don't turn it down. Number 1 is learn from your financial failures. Make your failures work for you. Use the discipline that is required in order to avoid making the mistakes that you've made in the past. Use those to your advantage. Now you're a more disciplined person. Now you're a more experienced person. Now you're a smarter person. You shouldn't have to go through the same thing twice. But if you do, look and say, I've been through that twice. I'm not going to do that a third time. When I do these things, when I spend too much at this time of year, it leads to this type of debt, and I'm not going to do it again. And until we neurologically connect with bad things that we've done, and we say that when I do these things, they create these bad results in my life. Until we really make that connection, things don't really change for us. So let's make sure that we do that we learn from our financial failures, that we realize that you may have a financial failure that you thought that you could always take advantage of things, that you were going to get rich quick, and that when somebody comes up to you with this fabulous idea about how you can double your money overnight, and you always take advantage of those things, and you realize that most things that sound too good to be true generally are big fat lies. So you know that now. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. A second tip for let's making sure that we continuously raise the bar. We're raising the bar. The first one is to learn from our financial mistakes, or financial failures, or let's learn from our financial lessons. I say we never lose, we win. We always we win or we learn, but we never lose, right? A second tip, surround yourself with people who are always raising their standards, right? You know how you have a person that you know, I hope that you know, that is always taking it to the next level. And then my brother is always joking on me because he says that everything I do, I always do big. So make sure that you do that. Like this particular topic came from Anthony Perrin, a man that I went to high school with, that is a motivational speaker, and he sends out to all his people motivational discussions all the time, and he's always saying raise the bar, raise the bar. And I was like, you know what, he's so right, but that surrounding yourself, having people like that you're connected to, not negative people. And sometimes you have to go through a transition process where you decide that these are the type of people that I want and that I need on my team, and that you need to surround yourself with people who are constantly increasing their standards. That doesn't mean that everybody has to be a multimillionaire, because money really doesn't have that much connection with character, self-esteem, and a determination, in its truest sense. Because some people, their contribution that they want to make may mean that they just like to serve a lot, and they're not always thinking about, they're not profit oriented or money oriented, but you have to make sure that they're making a large contribution to society, to their family, to their friends, that they're moving in a positive direction mentally. Mentally is very important, very important. And they're not, even though a person might say, well, money doesn't matter to me. If money doesn't matter to them, then they should not be borrowing money from you all the time. So remember that when a person says money doesn't matter to them, they should not be living off people who are working and making money and working hard all the time. So, because money doesn't matter to them. So the next time they ask you for money, say, well, money doesn't matter to you. So, you got to be bigger than that. Tell them they got to be bigger than that. Remember, money doesn't matter to you. Money matters to me. That's why we work. So number 3, realize this rule, that you do not get what you want. You get what you require. You get what you must have. And it's so true. You must realize that just because you want something, just because you want to, accumulate $1 million for your retirement fund, just because you want that doesn't mean that you're going to make the sacrifices and do the work and do the savings and do the investing that is required in order to get it, unless you decide that you must have. Wanting is not enough. Wanting is just not enough. It has to become a must for you. It has to become, this is what I do. I put away 10, 20, 30% of my income because this is what I'm trying to do. And then I do this selection process, and then I do you have to have that. If financial success, financial independence, the second principle of AfroEconomics, if that is important to you, then you must realize that it has to be a must-have, not just a want. And number 4 is change your daily habits. Your daily habits are what leads to your long-term financial success. You can't just waste money, make bad choices, not go to work, don't be a good performer for your business or for your job or whatever you have. You can't, those daily things that you're doing, they have to lead towards what it is that you must have. And sometimes your actions don't lead to what you ultimately want. Like I am determined to have a healthy lifestyle. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I avoid stress. I try to plan ahead so that things are not extremely stressful for me, committed to my business, everything. But then my daughter decides to make cookies over the holidays, and I decide to partake in her gluten-free, cookies. And it's just that, no, I know that is not part of the plan that I have for myself. So you have to realize that what I did that day means I have to start over and go through the whole sugar withdrawal all over again, because it wasn't a must. I hadn't made it a must that I must not eat those cookies, that I must not I must not get off track during this holiday, that I must not, and because if it's not financially, it could be some part of your life, because the 10th principle of Afroeconomics is Black health and Black wealth. Your health and not making good health decisions do impact ourselves financially. So I can't just think that, oh, you can do whatever you want to do with your health and that you're going to accomplish these financial goals that you have. No, it just doesn't work that way. So no, we have to be our daily habits, that fourth tip, that change your daily habits, they lead to your long-term accomplishments. You can't be using your credit cards every day, not paying them off, and think that you're going to have a debt-free lifestyle. Your daily habits create our long-term accomplishments. We have to do what we want for ourselves financially. We have to do it every day to make it possible. And a fifth and final tip is to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You should check out the interview that I did on CBS, and it's the Virginia This Morning show, and they were asking me, like, what is the first thing? Because November, this being the final day of November, it is entrepreneurship month, National Entrepreneurship Month for November. And they said, like, well, what do you think as an entrepreneur? What is it, first thing that you have to do for your start a business? And I'm like, you have to establish that entrepreneurship mindset. You have to realize that it's going to be uncomfortable. You have to become comfortable with the inconsistencies. And I say, be comfortable with being uncomfortable. It becomes like a lifestyle that you are, you do enjoy flexibility, and that others who have to go into a 9-to-5 don't have that flexibility and that control. But you also have to deal with, you have to be your chief motivator. You have to be the one that pushes yourself through that comfort zone into a place of being uncomfortable, being able to look into the darkness and see the future. Definitely. So get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Success requires sacrifice. So this is the perfect time of year to come to my financial workshop and to also realize that I want to raise the bar and I want to start now. There are people everywhere who are putting off and saying that, oh, I'll do that next year. I'll do that later. In January, I'll do this. No, start this moment right now. Whatever your financial goals are, start right now. Make them happen. Write them down immediately. And make sure you check out, I'll be live on YouTube with you again on New Year's Eve at midnight. I'm going in. Turn it down for what? We're not going to do it, right? So thank you for hanging out with me today. I'm JB Bryan, the President and Chief Investment Officer at JB Bryan Financial Group, the home of AfroEconomics. Have a great day and happy holidays. And I'll check you all out on next Wednesday. Every Wednesday, I'm live right here. Take care.